And yes, we're live. Hello, everyone. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, Simone. And today I have the extreme honor and pleasure and excitement of having Simone Milasas as my guest. As you know, we have been talking with different CFs around the world on their intakes and in their on their perspectives about presumptive and reactive realities on different topics. And today we are going to talk about business. Because
Woo! It's business time.
And as you know, Simone Milas is the author of two books, Getting Out of Debt Joyfully, and one of my favorites is The Joy of Business. And that's how I started Access, actually listening to it over and over again. And those two, of course, she's also the creator of the specialty class of Joy of Business, under which there's a 3-day business done different class. And I'd like to ask her questions about how different business done different is, from all the presumptive and reactive realities, which is very much prevalent in business world, and what you would like to say about business done different and how it is beyond any presumptive and reactive realities.
Yeah, wow. I mean, it's insidious in every area of your life. And I was having a drink last night with a friend of mine, and we were talking so much business. It was funny. She goes, "I'm so sorry." She said, "Is this okay that we're talking about business?" And I went, "Oh yeah, I'm really good with talking about business. I'd rather talk about business than boys, like the the girl talk." And she laughed and she goes, "Great, because I need someone to talk to this about." But it was interesting because last night she's dealing with a whole lot of stuff. Okay. And presumptive realities are basically what you decide is so. Okay. So you create this like fixed point of view and this fixed reality. And when it comes to business or money, it's like maybe in your business, you're like, well, this is the way money shows up. Or you've decided this doesn't work. So my first thing to do is to pock and pod all the presumptive realities that you have on that issue or that topic. Because if you decide something about a staff member or you decide something about the business and how the revenue streams show up, it's like, then that is what you will sit in, is the presumptive realities. Now, with the presumptive realities, though, it's almost like we try and create this predictable future, which, breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, 2020, I think, showed us that you cannot create a predictable future at all. And we can't. And it's like there's not one day in your life that you go to bed at night and go, oh, well, today showed up exactly the way I thought it was going to. So what if your business didn't show up exactly the way you thought it was going to? What if there are so many more elements that you could bring in to the business to create something easier, more joyful, like greater? It's like more adventurous, all of that and more. So are we pock and potting? Everything at that is times a godzillion. Can we destroy and create it? Right
Yes,
and wrong, good,
please.
bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys, provids, and beyonds. So let me go a little bit though, Icicle, into because you have the presumptive realities, right? But they all sort of work together in the sense of you have the presumptive realities. And like I said before, you try and work out this how. And every single time you go to a how, that's a reactive reality. Okay. So you have this need of a reactive reality that will keep the presumptive reality in place because that's everything you've decided is so. Like you've decided that is it. That's the way it is, right? So then in order to keep that in place, you will start playing with all of these native reactive realities in order to maintain that. So just for a moment, if you can just imagine that you wake up in the morning and you, like, this is any area of your life, like I said, but you put your attention on your business and you have no presumptive realities of what can show up. What would you choose? It's like, what would you create? Because it's like this constant state of judgment of functioning from the presumptive realities and then the need of reactive realities. And then you have, well, we call the need of reactive realities the NORs, right? Because we like to shorten everything in Access. And And then we have what is the Norse slimes. And I love this description because the Norse slimes is like, I think it was Gary or Dane that said something like, it's like a snail, when a
Mhm.
snail leaves a trail. And it's such a good visual because if you look at, you have this presumptive reality, right? So let's use this as an example. You have this presumptive reality that there's a certain way that you're going to create revenue for the business. Now, you must choose everything based on that presumptive reality. So then your need of reactive reality is like, how is that going to show up? This is the amount of money it brings in. Like that's a budget, that's a forecast, that's, all of that sort of stuff that is very this reality. So then you start functioning from that. And then, especially in business too, I like this, is the Norse slimes, that snail trail sort of thing, is all the places that it's like predicated on artificial intelligence. And you're trying to listen to that artificial intelligence and that AI to figure out what it is you need to be doing and what it is you need to be choosing, right? So
Yeah.
look, even as I'm talking about this, like if you're just like, what the hell, what is she talking about? Play this back and listen to it again, right? And look at the density of what you create. Now, if we stopped choosing that, like, and like I said, this is insidious. If we stop choosing that, just pock and plot all of that, breathe. Okay, business, what's
Mhm.
possible for us today? What's possible that I have not yet asked for? What can I receive today that I haven't been willing to receive? Because the thing is, with these presumptive realities, the need of reactive realities and the need of reactive reality slime, like all intertwined and playing together, it's like you will continuously look for what is not working
Yeah. Yeah.
and be in a constant state of judgment of yourself, your business, your money flows, rather than I mean, I remember at one stage we were talking about one of the greatest miracles in the world is you being you. So you function in business like business done different in your whole entire life, and you're just being you. I know it sounds so easy. What if it is easy? Like the mantra of access, all of life comes to us with ease, joy, and glory. And if it's that easy and we're just being us, what if that's the magic, that's the miracles, and that's how you create and generate and choose a business?
Amazing. I love the way this is so out of control, out of form structure, and of anything we put on business. And business is one of the areas that we put the most significance on. And there comes the control with all and create with all these presumptive and reactive realities. It's even before this concept came up. I think it was the first time in Joy of Business I have heard you talking about everything in the reverse that I have ever known. Being out of control, you
Yeah,
know, no form, no structure, and demanding from your business and receiving from your business. It was such a interesting concept of what receiving from my business isn't it I that should be giving to the business. It was so beautifully confusing, but then I knew why I couldn't function in business in this reality. I thought I had no
yeah.
capacity with business in form, structure, significance. What would you like to talk about that too?
Well, I love the way you just described that. And because there is such a level of chaos in
Yeah.
joy business, in business done different. And most people like have judged that chaos is bad. And it's not.
Yeah.
It's like chaos is how the world works. Chaos is how nature works. Like, I went for a walk this morning. For me, it was freezing, but anyway, it was 10 degrees. And I went for a walk this morning around the castle, and there's lots of trees and bush and everything. And I, I didn't put my AirPods on. I just walked, so I could hear the sounds of everything. And it was from birds, dogs, the rustle of the leaves on the ground. And then I reached into the town, and there's the old Italian guys sitting there smoking and having their espresso, and you know, and it is all just chaos. It's like,
Mhm.
it's not like this organized place that we think that we have to function from. Now, there's a huge difference between chaos and havoc as well. Havoc is when it's just like, ah! And it's like, it's not creating anything greater. But chaos, it's like, that's how nature thrives. That's how nature expands. What if your business was like that as well? I mean, if you look at, like, for example, we've got this property, as you know, in Costa Rica called El Lugar, and we're so close to getting this finished. And at the moment, we're dealing with banks and various reality, and they're just being banks, is the best way I can describe it. So we were like, okay, what if we created this and we created, we've got raffle tickets for sale, we've got bonds, we've got investors, we've got all of this. And then what I've noticed is people tend to put an answer into it. They go, oh, the raffle tickets is going to create this, the bonds is going to create this. And then you start to put your energy into that's the answer. What if there was no answer? What if there was only question? So I think I think this is funny. What I did this morning is just near the castle. I'm in Italy at the moment. Just near the castle, there's this little church that's hardly ever open, and the door was open. And I was brought up a Catholic, like had to learn the catechism off by heart, all that whole thing. I never really go to church anymore, right? And I'm not a practicing Catholic, but I walked in, and I swear to God, I went like this, and I went, "Whoa, that was so interesting to see how quickly." I couldn't walk into a church without doing the sign of the cross. And then there was no one in there. And I walked in and I went, I'm going to give this a shot. And I stood in the middle of the church and I went, okay, God, Lord, Jesus. And I went, will you please help us get the funding for El Lugar? Sooner than possible. And then I walked out with this little like joy in my step and this little giggle. And I made this little video, and I actually only sent it to Gary and Dane and David Kubis and Sean, but now I'm telling you guys about it because I thought it was funny. It's like, why not? Like, I don't know, let's pray to everybody and go, please help. But that's the place where you have chaos and you're willing to receive from anything and anyone, not just make something an answer, which is the presumptive reality, and the how, and anywhere that you are looking for a result is the need of reactive realities and the null slimes. Rather than being like, okay, the church was open. And I was like, all right, I'll give this a shot. And I was like, dear Lord. So,
how many people's and their energies you're also aware of that are entering the church like that? It's one of
yeah.
my games. I'm not religious. Is anyway, but it's one of my favorite things to light up a candle and have on a wish, sort of, and ask a demand. That's the way. And then I love having it burn out there. And what if nothing was significant? Not out of helplessness or
Yeah.
like, please God help me, but
Yeah.
it's like another possibility.
But see, that's the thing, is nothing is significant when you're not functioning from the presumptive realities, the need of
Yeah.
reactive realities, and the null slimes. Everything becomes possible. And to me, too, Icicle, I see so many people have avoided that because it's like that lightness, and I know for me, same thing, that lightness for me sometimes is just like, what the fuck? Like, it's so light that you tend to question, I must have done something wrong, or I must have, because we're so used to going into judgment of ourselves and looking for that rightness and the wrongness. And I mean, one of my first classes I ever did with Gary, I didn't hear a word he said. And it's the current Choice for Possibilities class. And the whole time I sat there and I was just like, wow, what is this? And I remember him saying one thing. He said, you're not as fucked up as you think you are. And I wrote that one sentence down, and I'm not as fucked up as I think I am. And I walked out, and I didn't know anything he'd spoken about for 4 days, but I was like, that. And I'm like, I'm going with that. And it's like, what if that is more true than anything else you've ever heard before? And that's how you started creating your business. And that's how you asked for revenue streams to show up. And that's how you lived.
That is beautiful. Every time I hear this, I'm always like, yes, I'm not as fucked up as I think I am in business, in anything. That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Simone, for being with us. And I'd like to announce here that Simone, with all these beautiful, imagine diving deeper into this. Simone has a Business Done Different class coming up in June in Marseille. It's between 23rd and 25th of June, and there's no prerequisites for that. How does it get any better? And there's also a certified facilitator training for Joy of Business in on 27th of June till 30th of June, again in Marseille, France. Just for your awareness, everyone. And thank you so much for being here and looking forward to the classes and seeing you everywhere.
I know
Thank
I'm in Europe for 2.5 months now. It's I'm like, this is my second day, and I'm like, wow, I'm here for 2.5 months. This is good.
Whoa, you'll be in Europe for 2.5 months.
Yeah,
Amazing,
yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
Enjoy. And I'm sure the class tomorrow, 3-day body class in the castle, if anyone is close by with Kalpana, right?
yeah.
Kalpana Raghuraman.
Oh, it's so sold out. So if anyone's close by, come and have lunch.
Okay. And thank you and see you somewhere in the world, Simone.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Mwah. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.